Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part, this upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Some of y'all's comments are hilarious. I do have a chance sometimes to see them before I get busy talking. And you guys never disappoint, so thanks for that. Sometimes I need a good laugh, other than myself. All right. Right, Suzanne. Gotta get that deep-throated, TV voice going. I have many voices. So anyway. Hey, thanks for joining me. We are fourth night in a row, because I can't remember if I did Sunday or not. I think I did. Brain cells have kind of been a little fuzzy since then, but I'm going to assume it was Sunday. So we've been on the air for a while now because we keep getting stuff to talk about, which is totally fine with me. I like stuff to talk about. Wakes me up. So we've had a little bit of rain, in case you've been living under a rock. Some of us got a little too much, and of course some of us never quite get enough. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. So as usual, I hit the weather part first, and then we usually have a little Q&A, and sometimes a little fun time. And if you turn the music off, if you turn off your record player for the kids a little too soon, you're going to miss out. Now, if you don't know what that joke was about, you have been living under a rock. All right, let's move on, shall we? Here's a look at the rainfall totals over the last 3 days. My goodness. Of course, we all had the big deluge here in Canadian County, and you've had these hot spots up here near Enid, just west of you guys in a major county. More hot spots down here, and here these are all 5 to 6 inches of rain. Where you get the reds, yeah, you're up close to 7 to 8 inches of rain. So up here north of Eufaula, Okmulgee, Fusky, kind of south of Tulsa. So those are the hot spots. So I'm pleased with the forecast overall. Just about everywhere in the state got rain. It's still not over with yet. And there were the pockets about 6+, which is what I had in my blog. So every now and then, I get it right. Unfortunately, though, that's too much rain. So I do feel bad, though, if you guys did happen to live in those areas, because it's going to cause some flooding, which we talked about as being a flash flood problem. Let me mute this thing so I'm not bothered by myself. All right, let's go on to now what's happening next. So I'm glad you asked. You're like, I didn't ask. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. Oh, did I grab the wrong map? This will work. So here's the deal. This is in the upper levels of the atmosphere. It's actually more toward the mid-level, but it's semantics at this point. So we got a ridge of high pressure out here across the western part of the country, trough of low pressure kind of in this area. And in between, we get these little disturbances that'll ride down the jet stream. And we've got one riding right here across Kansas and then pushing into Oklahoma for tomorrow afternoon. This is a pretty good stout one. So we're going to see another round of storms out of that guy. Now here is a look. If we were to put that same map into motion, zoom it in for you, this is kind of like the lift in the atmosphere. All the brighter colors indicate the stronger lift. So as we head into tomorrow afternoon, into tomorrow night, see all that bright stuff on the map here in over Oklahoma? That's rainfall. This is what will help to generate rainfall. This will kind of move on through in the morning to the afternoon. By the time we head into Friday now, I've zipped on through. It's a slow mover. Into Friday night into Saturday, it's now pushing into Arkansas, and we clear out. Now, I can't rule out some sprinkles on the backside of this Saturday. Let's call it overnight, Saturday night. But other than that, I think the weekend's looking perfect. I'm going to show you that here in a second. You're going to love it. All right, so that's kind of what's happening with that. Now, unfortunately, this is kind of a little different this time around. We're in that what we call a north-northwest flow. So the wind shear is a little better, all right? We're going to have a little bit better instability. Matter of fact, this colored area on the map I'm showing you here, these are CAPE values, which is raw measure of instability. It's basically dew point values and actual air temperatures, and then certain temperatures aloft. So this kind of helps to get the atmosphere primed to be unstable. Plus the wind shear is a good directional wind shear. Right along I-40 seems to be the model's sweet spot of these best severe weather parameters. What that means is storms in this environment will be able to produce some hail and some damaging wind. Now, hail this time of the year, it's hard to get too large, typically in the summer. Analogs, though, are getting a little excited about it, so we'll talk about it. And here is the significant tornado parameter. You're like, what did you just say? All right, so also in the northwest flow, with wind shears good enough, you can squeeze out a weak tornado. So there is a potential for a weak tornado late tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours, kind of right along that same boundary, plus or minus a few miles there, probably more like on the south end of I-40. I'm not overly excited about it, but I did want to kind of tell you, just in case some of those things happen. This is Oklahoma County and Canadian County, so the model's kind of like it just in the south end. Now this can waver a little bit, so don't get too specific and bogged down in the exact placement. The general idea is just something to watch for, even though the main threat will be for flash flooding, again, briefly, and some wind and some hail. Now here's a look at the sounding forecast. It does indicate potential hazard type of a tornado, but it's not something we'd see in the springtime. In other words, this type of sounding isn't a Katie bar the door sounding. However, the wind shear is fairly decent for summertime, and it is changing direction with height. So again, the potential for tornado is there. Cape value's up around 4,000, which is ridiculous. That's a lot of instability with lifting indices around -10. No cap, really much to speak of. And hail parameters, significant size hail, can be in the history books around, well, that says baseballs. Now, I'm going to drop that down a notch. It's just hard to get hail that big. I think golf ball probably the most we'd be able to do, and most probably even under that, because again, summertime, you just don't get as cold aloft, even though these temperatures look pretty decent here. Let's see, freezing level is around, yeah, we'll see. And then, what else am I looking for real quick? I'm just now looking at this on the fly. Sorry. Yeah, we'll probably get some hail out of that. So we shall see. But anyway, so those are the kind of the deals for tomorrow afternoon. So if you're out and about doing something in the evening hours or late tomorrow, you know what the deal is, and that's here in over central Oklahoma. And of course, we've got the rainfall amounts to speak of. Looking at the various models, kind of flipping them back and forth, give you an idea how much rain we're going to see. When you get to the purple area, the scale goes up to about 2 inches, and let's see, red is about 3 inches. So tomorrow through Friday morning, so this is about a 36-hour window from now, you do see some pockets of the purple and the red, but you also see a lot of areas that don't get that much at all. So just like the last few days, they'll never know the exact placement. What you want to pay attention to is the overall general trend, which is significant rainfall, possibility again of some small flash flooding events. There are some pockets here showing up. There's 4 inches there. There's 3 to 4 inches there. So if there's any training, anything like that, it's kind of a similar situation that we've seen that we showed you at the start of this broadcast. All right, so how are things going to play out for you? Well, quiet, by the way, tonight, right now, here in central Oklahoma. Here in eastern Oklahoma, though, you guys have been seeing a little bit of lightning toward Fayetteville, back out toward Muskogee. Let's see, north of Tulsa, some new stuff developing in your neck of the woods that'll kind of skim through northeast Oklahoma. And then here in northwest, this guy's actually got a severe thunderstorm warning with it. That's likely to be for a little bit of hail, a little bit of wind. Freedom, Hardner, Alva, Capron, Kiowa, Burlington, all the next half hour or so. So there you go for that. Okay, so back to the last forecast, and then I'm all wrapped up. So here's a look at how things have progressed. That storm in northwest Oklahoma will die out over time. It might have just enough gusto to get into parts of north central. In other words, just north Oklahoma City before falling apart. This model doesn't even see it there. That's how bad they do in the summertime. That's why you can't don't hang your hat too specific on what they output sometimes. All right, so let me see. Where am I going with this? First off. Okay, so yeah, I really hate this model output. I actually don't agree with it, so I don't know why I'm even going to show it to you. I'll just show it to you for the afternoon part, where it's got the heavier stuff coming in the afternoon, skimming through central Oklahoma, and then kind of moving into southern Oklahoma for the tomorrow night, Friday morning deal. So actually, I'm throwing this thing away. I think it's garbage. All right, so let's go to this one. I debated earlier in showing you that, but I was like, I got too much going on right now. I'll just deal with it later. So that was my dealing with it later. All right, let's see. This is a short-term HER model. Let's see. This goes through tomorrow morning. I like this look better. There's still stuff in Kansas this hour. So we'll have some more overnight in northern Oklahoma overnight tomorrow morning. Here, Oklahoma City and Tulsa. That kind of diminishes a bit, and then it tries to reform a new wave going into the afternoon hours. This model's a little better, but a little misplaced. Got the stuff mainly down in southern Oklahoma, and then some new stuff northwest. Does have some stuff popping up around midnight tomorrow night here in central, and then in Tulsa through, looks like Friday morning. That's a little bit better idea, but actually I like this one the best. So if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with the WRF from Texas Tech. It's got the same kind of look with the scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in the morning hours of north central Oklahoma. Here in Oklahoma City, a few sprinkles, some passing showers. That activity dies out, and then here's a new activity that bubbles up by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock over central Oklahoma. That does include the Oklahoma City Metro. And then you can see these little red things. Those are tracks for rotation characteristics, indicating some hail, likely some wind with that. And we'll see, if one of those get out of hand. But needless to say, there's your rainfall amounts going through. And we wrap it to, let's see, we're on Friday. It's moving on into Arkansas and out of here. Rainfall amounts on this particular model pretty decent as well. Here in central Oklahoma and really much areas of the state, there's a widespread 1 to 2 inches in yellow. There's a few pockets there of 3 that some doesn't get some heavy stuff. So that's about it. Now, here's the good stuff. So with the rain and the system moving off on Friday, this will be a little cloudy, but temperatures so nice. This is 80 degrees for a high on in central Oklahoma, 70s in northeast Oklahoma for Friday afternoon. Good stuff. Now Saturday morning, we're looking good too. In case you can't see this, I'll blow it up for you a little bit better. There's 69 degrees Oklahoma City, 63 in Tulsa. I mean, can you believe that? That's Saturday morning, folks. And then Saturday afternoon, 80s, looking good. It should be kind of partly cloudy. We'll have a few clouds that roll through in the afternoon, like I mentioned, maybe even a few sprinkles Saturday evening or Saturday night. I think right now that's the best I can do you for. Otherwise, the weekend should be really nice. And that's a look at those little sprinkles Saturday late evening and overnight. So again, I don't think too much of that right now. And then meanwhile, on Sunday, we're looking at low 80s in the afternoon. Telling you folks, looking good. And then last but not least, what about that hurricane everybody's starting to talk about? It should not hit Florida at this point in time. Should not. We'll see. Right now it's got it well east off the shoreline here, just over my shoulder, my right shoulder that is. I'm backwards on the camera. And then by Monday, it's got it moving on up here, moving on up to the east side, literally. So that'll be on the east side here of Carolina. So that's what it looks like right now, which is what it looked like yesterday. We're looking at the brand new beta version of the new GFS America model. We talked about all that last night. So if you missed that whole discussion, all I can say is you snooze, you lose. So there you go. There's your forecast in 10 minutes. Hope that was helpful. Good for you. I tried to finish you up in time so you could go see the fear and doom on the news. Those of you folks that enjoy that, I particularly don't, so I don't watch it. But hey, to each their own. All right. Good evening from Oklahoma City. Prince of Rain checks in from the Oklahoma City, Lake Hefner area. Jared, those shingles though, right? Amanda wants more rain. She's going to get it. Jim, yeah, he's in Mustang. He's going to get a little bit more rain. James is just boomer sooner, 24/7. And Jody, you're cute. She's calling out. She goes, I love the different platforms we can watch you on. Team AT. I got some pretty good rain here in Eufaula. Good, Paul, because weren't you complaining the last 2 nights you weren't getting any? I bet you got some today, or last night. Well, actually it was today, I think, and last night. All right, let me jump to you guys on Twitterland. Keep in mind, if you do write any questions or comments, I won't be able to see them until I finish with the maps, because I'm looking at those full screen, so I can't do both. I'd love to be able to do both, and I'm pretty sure if I was able to do that, I would be well paid in some other field working for the CIA. As the ability to do 2 eyeballs in 2 different directions and process and talk. So that would be quite a job. Anyway, let me go on into my patrons. So they're on the private Facebook group page. I throw you in that group if you support me on Patreon or through Facebook fan subscriptions, etc., etc. Details in the description of this video. So Mimi's checking in from Bing. Good to see you. Patty's in the house. Tiffany and Amy both waving. Denise, right back at you. Phil's finally on time. And Gerard never lets me down with the Big Papa Pump holla if you hear me hook up. He was actually one of my favorite wrestling characters back in the day. I say back in the day. That was only 20 years ago. Oh my gosh. Has it been 20 years ago? He's still alive too. I don't know how, but he is. Oh no, heading to North Carolina Friday. I'll be long gone by then. Okay, so let me go to the main Facebook page. A couple questions there, and then we'll go wrap it up. Okay. So I have had 6.97 inches so far this month. Michael, man, he's trying to win a prize. Tell you what, the grass is loving it. So are the plants, and especially my plants, because I let half of them die. Jody was not happy about that. But listen, I watered, but when it's 100 degrees, I told her, I said, you don't understand. This isn't Canada. You get 100 degrees, and no matter what you do, half this stuff dies. You just can't take it. Can't take the heat. This is the most... Sean, that's a terrible comment. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Just keep it clean. But I can tell you it was sincere. Those are really good guys. Joe Kawita, you're going to get some rain. I've enjoyed not watering my yard. Suzanne, I used to water my yard back when I got the new home ownership. I had that whole utopia dream, white picket fence. I say whole 9 yards, but do you know the whole 9 yards? I just saw this. Now, of course, it's on the internet, so it's got to be true. It actually came from machine gunners because it was 9 yards of 50 caliber bullets or something like that in a reel. And so that's where the whole 9 yards came from. I was like, oh, face. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So I stopped watering over a period of time. I said, you know what? If it dies, it dies. Saves my water bill. Because back then we're starting to go through some droughts. And I was like, I ain't paying the extra for this. And you had water rationing. I said, you know what? Less for me to mow, less for me to deal with. Plus it's 100 degrees outside. I said, bah. But Jody's not going to let me do that this time around. She's spent too much work out there getting it purty. Lisa's got the mask on. The virtual mask. Boy, that's the biggest virtual signal and thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Got the emoji mask on. I mean, she's hardcore. Of course, she'd put the no on there. So maybe that means no mask. Maybe I misread that. I'm not woke enough. Let's see. Killer homemade drop. Oh, Dale's talking about the China seeds coming in. Ain't that crazy stuff? Man, don't plant any seeds if you get in the mail from China. I don't know what's up with that. That's just part of 2020. I think it's a gag. Honestly, I think it's let's see if we can't just screw with the U.S. and make them freak out over anything more. So I think they just started sending some random seeds. It's all psychological warfare. Let's see. I'm Canadian County. We definitely had our fair share. Jacqueline, yeah, I know. You guys do not need any more rain. At least for some part. Many parts of it. I think maybe northeast corner, you can still use some more. Well, thanks, Lori. Love you too. Glad you guys are here. He just gave away $100. Who did? Did I give away $100? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much rain are we getting in Piedmont? Oh, good grief. Late to the party. Well, Sharon, I may not always be right, but I try to be. No, outdoor graduation Thursday afternoon. Well, it might hold off. It depends on what time the graduation is. And also, I don't know where the graduation is. But they might squeeze it in just in time. I'll be headed to Winoka, leaving Oklahoma City about 6 tomorrow. Okay. Going down eastbound and down on I-40 and up through Watonga. I need to be careful. Listen, I'm going to answer your question with one long word. You ready, Chris? That's actually a cool name to spell. It's C-K-Y-R. Come on, Aaron. You can read. K-R-Y-S. AT's Weather to Go. That's my weather app. So download that. It'll keep you safe. It'll keep you out of harm's way. Let's see. Check Mesonet for rain totals. Great website. Yep, that's what I started the broadcast with, which is why we showed you some of those hot spots that were ridiculous. 6 feet of snow tomorrow. Boy, I wish. Yeah, Jody, those plants do need you. Do you have a court reporter doing the captioning? Just curious. No, it's a monkey with a 6-pack. That's about it. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is this open captioning system I've been having. I tried it out this year. All right, it was new technology. Let's just say it needs a little extra work, so I may just turn it off until it gets better. Because I've been paying attention, and it does fairly good sometimes, and it's just out the door in others. The good news is Facebook automatically puts closed captioning on this video. Like if you have it in this format, you know, the up and down vertical. If you go horizontal, I don't know if it does. And then if you pipe it to your TV, I'm not sure what happens to that either. You might have to actually press some of the buttons on there to make it turn on instead of it being automatic. And then if I can get enough people to sign up to my YouTube account, so in other words, I've got 130 something thousand of you, but only like, I don't know, like 10,000, maybe not even that on YouTube. But if I can get everybody to get on YouTube as well, just to hit the button and like it, you don't have to go there and watch it. But YouTube then rewards me, and then they put automatic closed captioning on there. So that's another way to get that done, so I don't have to deal with it. Because I don't want to delay this broadcast. In other words, if I go through certain steps, anything more than I do now, it adds delay to it. And it could be, you know, significant to short. Well, when I'm tracking tornadoes and all that kind of stuff, I want live. I don't want a minute later or 30 seconds later. I want it now. So if I do those kind of things, that's a side effect if I do too much. So I try to keep it as minimal as possible so I don't have any delay or lag. And you guys get real-time info. All right? That's important. So one way to fix that, again, is to have everybody join YouTube. So I'll see if I can get some kind of push in that direction. Now, I understand something else thing too. All right. Now, I'm going to speak mainly to the conservatives. Liberals don't care. And I don't care which platform or which group you fall in. But I understand the frustration on one side of the issue of these big tech companies censoring. Okay. And they've censored a few liberals, yeah, but they've censored far more conservatives, all right? And then you have the platforms being mostly liberal in nature, so it all makes sense. Everybody gets all upset and worked up. And I'm boycotting YouTube, and that's fine. Totally boycott them if that's what you want to do. However, I put this out on YouTube, so just pretend like you're going to use it. So go to my page, like, subscribe, hit the bell when I go live, but just don't ever use it, because that's how I get the message out, unfortunately. Like, if you, what's the deal? What's the saying? You make a deal with the devil. So, you know, I don't know how this whole thing is going to play out. Hell, they had Capitol Hill, you know, hearings today over some of this stuff, and it went nowhere. It never does. Congress, don't even get me started. When I was in college, I loved learning about government at that level. You know, way different than in high school or something. And so the college classes I took, I was like, this is actually a pretty cool way of doing things. And as I got older and I saw how corrupt it was, I went, this is not a good way of doing things. And I'm a taxpayer. And screw you guys. So my view has completely changed. And this is all it is. It's all it is. It's all it ever is. And then there's puppet masters in the back, people in the front, puppet masters in the back, people in the front. That's the way it's been for who knows how long, and it may still be that way forever. So that's all frustrated. So, but anyway. Point being is, I don't think they're going to get anything done with the big tech companies. So if Twitter's going to ban people, Twitter's going to ban people. Same thing with Facebook, same thing with YouTube. We're all in this together, so all I'm saying is don't shoot the messenger, which would be me, because then you won't be able to get my message, which is important. So pretend like you like them, you know, join those different platforms. You don't have to use them, but when I come on live, at least get those notifications so you can watch me that way. You know, who knows in the future, we don't know how this is going to go, where it's going to go. I do run things through my website, AaronTuttleWeather.com, but those pull in YouTube or Facebook. I can't remember how I had that set up. I think it was YouTube. So I don't know. Well, you know, I'm always trying to figure out where we're going, and because I got to adjust and, you know, go with the flow. But that's neither here nor there. It's just a little side deal that you guys don't really have to think about because you're not a content creator. You're a consumer. So content creators have to be worried about this stuff. And honestly, I hate it because, to me, the dumbest thing you can do is alienate half your audience, because that means half your audience will no longer use your product. Now, if you're a corporation and you charge a lot of money, okay, let's say you sell calculators and you took a big virtual stand one way or the other. Well, you pissed off half your audience, and they're never going to buy a calculator from you again. Well, congratulations, you shot your left foot to save your right foot, or, you know, whatever you want to do, cut off your left arm to save your right arm. It's dumb. I mean, if you're trying to make a living at this stuff, don't, you know, needlessly, you know, tick everybody off. That's dumb. But these people have so much money, they don't care. It'd be nice to be in that pattern. Man, so much money. I don't care who I offend. I got no money and I still care who I offend. But there is a saying, you can please some of the people some of the time, but not all the people all the time. And it's good to remember that. Although I still try to push that envelope because I don't want to offend any of you guys or push you away. Not because I'm an Amazon Jeff Bezos king making billions, but just because I'm a little low man on the totem pole. Mom and pop operation. Just doing a community service. So I can't do a community service if no one's listening. That's kind of pointless. But anyway. All right, so that was complete side tangent. I told you we get this way. So I gave you, 10 minutes of weather, and then you get 10 minutes of truth. So you're welcome. You want to do more of these fireside chats on, I don't know, maybe I'll get to where I pick a night and stuff. I'm not sure. I usually do a little bit of extra stuff content-wise for my patrons. Next time Jody comes into town, we'll do an interview with her again. Do you hear that, Jody? She's like, we are? I'm like, yeah, we are. We were actually going to try to do it this time around, but our visit was too short, and we want to make the most of it. So Joe wants to know, will we be able to see the meteor shower? Well, all I can tell you is maybe, because it's not a socked-in cloud cover night across the state. They're just like batches of them, so you could call it mostly cloudy. So there's times you're gonna have clear skies you can see through, and there's other times clouds go ahead, and it's all moving fluid. So at one point you'll be fine, at one point you won't. So you can give it a try and see. It's not the best time of the year to try that because we were in a rainy, cloudy pattern overall. All right, I think that's rambling on enough. Check one more thing, and then Nat wants to know, rain for Seminole, yes. Paul got his rain, good. And Nat said too slow. I'm headed to D.C., to the White House. How's the weather there? Who's headed to the White House? Chef John Brown. Man, I'm jealous. Wish I could go to the White House. Of course, I don't know what you're doing up there. You better not be up to something mischievous. Actually, I don't even know what the weather's doing up there. But enjoy your trip. You can use my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. It'll tell you weather all across the country, and if you're traveling, it'll travel with you. So that'd be my recommendation. Let's see. Patrons real quick. You guys have nothing else to say? All right. Fine. Be that way. I may be making some changes to the graphics on the screen, just so you know. I'm always tinkering with something, and if I'm going to drop the open captioning, I got to change the look around. So you might see that. Not that you care any, but just make it look pretty, pleasing to the eye. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a great night, and we'll do this again probably tomorrow. Probably. That's what I'm thinking about. So have a good night. Thanks for your questions and your concerns, your opinions, your statements, your love, and your hate. I'll take it all. Good night, everybody.